اب بریف انٹروڈکشن ہمارے اس پلیٹ فارم کے بارے میں. دی ویٹی مینٹور از بیسکلی اے پلیٹ فارم ٹو پرووائڈ یو گائیڈنس اینڈ اے پاتھ where you can choose your career, or if you need any kind of help or assistance in your resume writing, CV writing, cover letters, or statement of purpose, and anything like it can be related to your educational field or your professional field. We will guide you and try to help you with the best we can. اور اسی سلسلے میں ہم ورک شاپس ارینج کرتے ہیں. آر فرسٹ ورک شاپ, سم آف یو مائٹ ہیو جوائنڈ اٹ. It was based on your LinkedIn ID and how to utilize it for your professional purposes. اور یہ ہماری سیکنڈ ورک شاپ ہے. اس کا ٹاپک آپ سب کو پتا ہوگا, انٹرویو اسکلز. اور اس کے لیے ہمارے ساتھ جو گیسٹ ہیں, لائک ہی از دا ٹاپ آف دا فیلڈ. وی ریئلی look up to him. He has tons of volunteer experience. He is a life coach, a certified life coach basically. So you will love to hear it from him as well. So Mr. Wajahat Shah, will you please give a brief introduction of yourself? We will love to hear from you. آپ آڈیبل نہیں ہیں, بہت ہلکی آواز ہے. اگر آپ تھوڑی.
اچھا, اب آ رہی ہے آواز میری؟
ہاں جی, اب بالکل صحیح آ رہی ہے.
ٹھیک ہو گیا. اچھا, السلام علیکم.
وعلیکم السلام.
اب تو میری طرف سے بہت بہت السلام علیکم. اصل میں یہ کووڈ-19 کی وجہ سے یہ سیشنز کے جو طریقہ کار ہے وہ ٹوٹلی چینج ہو گئے, اور ہم لوگوں کو اس سچویشن میں بہت زیادہ مشکل پیش آ رہی ہے, کیونکہ انگیجنگ سیشن ہوگا. جس طرح بھی ایک اور بھائی تھے, کیا نام تھا ان کا, حجاب, یہ جو ابھی آئے تھے, یہ جو دانش نے کہا کہ سیشن ہوگا, ضرور ہوگا. بالکل, میں نے کچھ سلائڈ بنائے ہیں, اگر آپ لوگ اجازت ہے تو میں وہ ساتھ ساتھ وہ بھی بریف کرتا رہوں گا.
جی شیور, آپ شیئر کریں. آپ کے پاس کوئی بھی کانٹینٹ ہے, الاؤڈ ہے. پریزنٹ ناؤ پہ کلک کریں گے تو آپ کی وہ سلائڈ شیئر ہو جائیں گی.
اوکے, یہ
ٹیب کا آپشن ہوگا.
ہو گیا, بالکل صحیح ہے. اچھا, ابھی نہیں ہے, ایک کرتا ہوں اس کو.
ٹھیک ہے, ٹیک یور ٹائم, اٹس اوکے.
سلائڈز میری آ گئی ہے آپ لوگوں کے پاس. یہ حجاب کرتا ہوں. اور بسم اللہ الرحمن. سب کو میری طرف سے السلام علیکم ونس اگین. اینڈ جس طرح کہ آج ہمارا ٹاپک ہے انٹرویو اسکلز, اور میرا نام ہے وجاہت علی شاہ. تھوڑا سا اپنا بریف انٹروڈکشن کر دوں تو میں نے سوچا کہ آپ لوگوں کو پروفائل شیئر کرنے سے پہلے یا پھر اپنے کریڈینشیلز بتانے سے پہلے اس میں اچھا ہے کہ میں پریکٹیکل وے میں آپ لوگوں کو ساتھ لے کر چلوں. یہ جو آپ لوگ کے اسکرین پر ابھی یہ جو سلائیڈ آ رہا ہے, اس کو ون بائی ون آپ لوگ پہلے میرے ساتھ چلتے جائیے تو آپ لوگوں کو آئیڈیا ہو جائے گا. یہ میرا انٹروڈکشن بھی ہے, اور جو ہمارا آج کا ٹاپک ہے انٹرویو اسکلز کے حوالے سے, تو اس سے ریلیٹڈ بھی آپ لوگوں کو ساتھ ساتھ میں گائیڈ کرتا رہوں گا. گاہے بگاہے میں آپ لوگوں کو بتاتا رہوں گا کہ انٹرویوز قسم کی میں نے خود کی ہے, اور جو انٹرویوز کے جو انٹرویو اسکلز میرے پاس جو ٹیکنیک تھی وہ میں نے کس طرح یوز کی تھی ان اے پریکٹیکل وے میں, وہ ساری چیزیں میں آپ لوگوں کے ساتھ شیئر کرتا رہوں گا. ہم لوگ موسٹلی اپنی لائف میں کہیں نہ کہیں کسی جگہ پر بھی ہم انٹرویوز دیتے ہی رہتے ہیں. اگر فارمل نہ ہو تو انفارمل ہی صحیح, لیکن ہم لوگ اس کو دیتے رہتے ہیں. آپ لوگ اسکرین پر دیکھ رہے ہیں, یہ مطلب چھوٹا سا ایک بریف انٹروڈکشن ہے. آپ لوگ اس کو دیکھ سکتے ہیں, انگلینڈ وزٹ انٹرویو ایٹ ایئرپورٹ, وائی یو چوز دس کنٹری, 2 آفیسرز. اچھا, اس کا مطلب کیا ہے؟ 2010 میں میری سلیکشن ہو گئی تھی انگلینڈ میں ایک یونیورسٹی میں. تو جیسے ہی میں ایئرپورٹ پر اترا تو اترتے ساتھ ہی وہاں انگلینڈ میں جب انٹر ہونے والا تھا, ابھی میری بورڈنگ پاس مجھے وہاں سے مطلب ایشو ایگزیکٹ پاس مجھے نہیں ملا تھا, اور مجھے 2 آفیسر میرے پاس آ گئے اور انہوں نے مجھے روک لیا اور سائڈ پہ کر دیا, اور انہوں نے الگ روم میں مجھے لے گئے, اور وہاں پر وہ میرا ایک انٹروگیٹو انٹرویو میں انہوں نے میرا سٹارٹ کیا. تو اب اچھا, میں یہاں پر آپ لوگوں کو وہ سین نہیں بتا رہا ہوں, میں صرف آپ لوگوں کو انٹرویو کی ایک قسم بتا رہا ہوں کہ 2 آفیسرز تھے میرے پاس. یہ پینل بھی ہو سکتا ہے, یہ گروپ بھی ہو سکتا ہے, یہ 1-on-1 بھی ہو سکتا ہے, لیکن اگین ایسا ایسا میں آپ لوگوں کو ساتھ لے کر چلوں گا. انہوں نے مجھ سے کچھ سوالات کیے جو موسٹلی ایک کلسٹرز ان وے میں آپ کو بتاؤں گا. کہ انہوں نے مجھے کہا کہ آپ نے انگلینڈ کو ہی کیوں چوز کیا, آپ کسی اور ملک میں کیوں نہیں گئے. امریکہ بھی اسی طرح کا ہے, کینیڈا بھی ہے, آسٹریلیا بھی ہے, نیوزی لینڈ بھی ہے, وائی انگلینڈ. तो अगर आप अपनी रिसर्च ना कर आप की हो और आप ऐसे ही उस कंट्री में अप्लाई कर ले, थोड़ा बहुत आप लोगों को जानना पड़ेगा उस कंट्री के हवाले से, कुछ ना कुछ जानना पड़ेगा। अच्छा, यहाँ पर उन्होंने मुझसे ये सवाल स्पेसिफिकली पूछा कि व्हाई यू चूज दिस कंट्री। मैंने अपनी रिसर्च की थी प्रॉपर तरीके से, वहां पर प्रॉपर गाइडेंस भी ली थी, तो उन्होंने उनके अकॉर्डिंगली मैंने उसका आंसर दे दिया। अच्छा, नेक्स्ट में जब मैं आ गया तो एक यूनिवर्सिटी में एक डिग्री ले ली, तो दूसरे कोर्स में मैंने अप्लाई कर दिया। तो वहां पर जब सिलेक्शन के लिए मैं जा रहा था तो वहां पैनल इंटरव्यू था हमारा कोर्स तो इम्प्लीमेंट करने, कोर्स के सिलेक्शन के लिए उन्होंने हमसे एक पैनल इंटरव्यू किया कि भाई आप लोग पाकिस्तानी हो, आप लोगों का वीजा यहाँ पे खत्म हो गया, अब आप हमें ये बताइए कि काइंडली आप इस कोर्स को आप क्यों सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं। हमारे पास तो टन्स ऑफ कोर्सेज और भी है, आपका जो प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस शो हो रहा है वो इससे मिलता भी है या नहीं मिलता। तो वो पैनल इंटरव्यू था, पहले 2 ऑफिसर थे, अब ये बात आ गई है पैनल इंटरव्यू पे 4 लोग थे इसमें। जब ये सारी चीजें हो गई तो उसके बाद एक एजेंसी है वहां पर जो काम कराती है, जो काम देती है हमारे जैसे स्टूडेंट्स को, या फिर जिनके पास प्रॉपर परमानेंट वीजा नहीं होते, तो उनको जॉब ऑफर करती है, उनके लिंक्स होते हैं बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों के साथ। तो जब उनके पास हम चले गए तो उन्होंने हमसे फिर सवालात पूछ लिए मुख्तलिफ तरीकों से कि अगर आप लोगों को हम लोग किसी एक रात के टाइम बुला ले, सुबह के टाइम बुला ले, तो आप लोग आने के लिए तैयार होंगे या नहीं। अच्छा, इसमें आप साथ साथ देख रहे हैं ना, मैंने एक्सटर्न all right then, okay guys, so we're gonna move on in English right now because some of our participants requested it English as well, so okay, that's fine then. So I was on number 3 point, and that is the assist agency. And as I was telling you guys that this agency, their sole job is to provide the work for the immigrants, and I was immigrant over there. And you know what they did over there? They hired some external recruiters for us. And most of the companies do the same process as well. They hire some external recruiters. After that, I applied for a TV channel interview at London. And you know what happened over there? And they asked me one question. What will you do after the current visa? They asked me this question. And that was a group interview actually. And you know, it wasn't like the group was sitting in front of me. It was, they make a group of the participants and they give us some task. And they told us that you have to do, and they, along with the task, they give us some pencil, mask, rubber, something like shoes and clothes and jacket, and they said that do whatever you want to do with all these stuff. And after that they said that you have to be creative to make something of this. And you know, that was like a group interview. The panel was reviewing and observing all the process and all the activities which we were doing with all those stuff. And after that, it was a really friendly way. But my point is, that was the panel interview. And you know, that wasn't one-on-one actually. They make the group, because we have a lot of participants over there. Candidates were around 30 to 35, and they don't have too much time for that. Only 1 hour, so they have to deal with each and every candidate over there. So they make the groups, 4 or 5 groups, and I was among one of them, and I got selected over there. All right then. So after that, I applied for another interview. That was the sales job, and assigned task to the whole team again, and that was the sales job actually, and it was one-on-one basically. When I came to Pakistan back in 2015, so I met with Qasim Ali Shah. You guys, I'm sure everybody here is familiar with the Qasim Ali Shah. And you know, Qasim Ali Shah, he is the guru actually. He's the I can't have any proper word to express his personality, but he is my mentor, and he's the guru. And lots and lots and lots of companies in Pakistan, they hired him just to sit in the interview panel, or just sit in the interview room and to observe. Don't say anything, don't even give us any suggestion. Just sit at the corner and just observe the candidate. And after that, the Qasim Ali Shah gave the feedback to the panel, and with his analysis that this candidate is right, this candidate is not right. And same when I met him back in 2015, so he took my interview actually. And you know what? I cracked that interview, and after that he offered me a job in the foundation, and which lead to the actually I was second in command. I was selected as the second in command at Qasim Ali Shah Foundation. So in that Qasim Ali Shah Foundation, I spent round about 2 years over there, and round about mostly interviewed 300 professionals over there. And when I left the Qasim Ali Shah Foundation, came back to the KPK, so I started my journey here as well. And so far, I interviewed 500 professionals. One thing which I really want to mention here, actually, offer to all of you guys, actually, in those 500 professionals which I interviewed, trust me, I found their profile quite misleading. Many of them, actually, there is a bridge at Qasim Ali Shah Foundation, and apart from the Qasim Ali Shah Foundation, there is a bridge. Actually, there is a guy who was performing as a bridge. He select the personality, and he sent his profile to us, to me, or to other participants who was at the same department. And he sent his or her profile to us, and they said that this is the personality profile. Kindly visit all and check it, and he will or she will visit to the blah date, and then after that you guys can interview. Okay, that's fine so far. So when we go through their profile, and when the personality came in front of us, trust me, there is a lot of things which wasn't available in that personality, but he mentioned or she mentioned in that profile as well. And same, every candidate do the same mistake. What? Because they put a lot of things in the CV or maybe the resume or in the profile, which wasn't even in their personality. So actually, it's like if I use a simple word for that, they lie actually, and this is a half truth, and this is a naked truth actually. And they lied about their personality, and they said, okay, we do this. Yeah, we have this skills, we have this degree as well, we have this certificate. And they lied actually, and most of the people do the same thing. So this is my professional experience. I am telling you from my own professional experience that when I interviewed, it's more than 500, but I just put a round figure, and that is the 500 professionals so far. And I found a lot of their profiles misleading actually. So okay, moving forward to the next slide. So if those people, a participant who joined us right now, the agenda of this session is first half of the session, there will be a presentation which I am giving you right now, and the second half, we will proceed with the questions and answer. You guys feel free to ask questions. Okay. Regarding to the questions, this is such a powerful thing. If you put a question, asking questions in your life, this is such a powerful thing. Trust me, it will change your life. I was working at a shop in London, and my duty times was actually from night time, 9 o'clock till morning. Actually, it was a night shift. And in the morning time, there is a black African American woman. She visited our shop, and we also served the tea section. There was a tea section over there in the bakery and tea section, and most of the people around 8:30 they just pop into the shop, and they just grab some coffee and tea, or maybe some snacks or some bakeries, so anything from the bakery section. And there was a black African woman, and her accent was so fascinating, so amazing. I really want to adopt her accent actually. I really like that accent. The way she was talking, and the way she was explaining things, and the way her pronunciation was, and the tone, everything was perfect actually. And one day, and she was coming every day, like 5 days a week. One day I just got some courage, and I asked her a question that, Miss, can I ask you a question? And she said, yeah, why not? Sure, go ahead. And I asked her, how can I get an amazing accent like you? Your accent is so fascinating. Trust me, it just grabbed my attention every time I listen to you. And she said that it's very simple, young man. And I said, what is it? What is the formula? Is there any technique, any formula? And she said, start asking questions. And I asked her again, questions about what? And she said that questions about everything. And I asked her again that questions from who? And she said questions from everybody. And that was actually a magical formula she gave me at that. They start asking question about everything and questions from everybody. We did the same mistake in our life as well. Somehow there is an element of ego which take over our personality, and ego, that ego won't allow us to ask any question. If you ask the question, you will show your ignorance to the front, to the people, and the people will laugh at you, and you won't accept that laugh. That's why you just you just hide yourself behind that ego, and the ego that is stopping you, blocking you from learning new things. Trust me, throw away that ego and start asking questions from a child, questions from a woman, a man, everybody. So the second part will be question and answer. So that lead me to the next slide, which is, what is the purpose of this session actually? To polish your interview skills, followed by practical examples. I will try my best to not just only theoretically explain all those things, but I will try my best to give the example of my own practical life. Objectives. What's included in this session actually? The first part will be resume. What's included in the resume? That will be, I will be talking about the resume. The second part will be the techniques for the professional interview. And the third part will be most common question asked in an interview. So let's start with the resume. Always make your resume according to the market need. There is a one of the participant he requested that if it will be good if you proceed the presentation or the session in English. So he must be, I think he must be from Africa or somewhere else. But every market has their own needs. Pakistan is different. Africa is different. Canada is different. So you have to research about the market. You have to research about those needs. And according to those needs and according to those market, you have to make your resume. Okay, so the second point is don't use too many colors. Trust me, nobody likes color. This is a professional environment, so keep it as much professional as you want. Black or maybe navy blue is fine. Apart from that, don't use too many colors. And third one, again, you will be hearing this, don't tell lies all over this session. Most of the people, most of the students, and most of the freshies, and most of the graduates, and most of the professionals, they do the same mistakes every time, again and again. They tell lies. I mention lies in their profiles, in their CV, in their resume. I mention a lot of those things which are not even they heard about it. They only know that this is a trend. There is a scope of this, and they just put it in their CV. And when the interviewer asks them the same thing about where did you learn, they don't have any idea how to present that thing. So that's why I'm just requesting you, don't tell lies actually don't mention lies in the resume. Okay, number 4, avoid mentioning marital status. You don't need to just type out I'm a single, I'm a married. Employer is not interested in the age. Avoid that. Photo. Yeah, this is very confusing. Photo. Most of the people, they prefer photo. Most of the people, they don't. And most of the countries and most of the market, many markets, they prefer. But I have my CV with photo and without photo. But I always prefer without photo. Always. Number 4, if you don't know the structure, use Google Docs. Okay, when I was working at Qasim Ali Shah Foundation, so I spent around about 2 years over there, and in those 2 years, I've met around not everyone, but lots of trainers and lots of public speakers and motivation speakers around the country, around the Pakistan. There was a guy, and he said that, what is my business? And I asked him, oh, please, I would love to hear it from you. And, he said that I make CVs, I make resume, and I charge students. How shocking is that our graduates, our masters, they got the degrees from the universities, from the top universities, and they don't know how to make their resume, and they don't know how to use the structure, what to include and what not to include. So he said that I'm making a lot of money from this. And I asked him that from how much time you are doing this business, and he said that it's been around about 4 years now, and I'm starting the cover letters and the profiles and all these things. Okay, yeah. So he mentioned the same thing with me. He mentioned these things that I'm making a lot of money out of this. So this is the dilemma actually. So if you don't know what is the structure of the resume, if you don't know how to make one, so rather than paying someone else the money, so you should go to the Google Docs, and there is a structure available in that section in the Google Docs. So it's mentioned over there, and all you have to do is just click on the resume or CV, and then it will give you the proper font sizes. You can visit it in later after this session. You will find it very helpful. Experience in the chronological order. Yeah, start from the current experience actually, and from that you go down to the older one. So you have to mention your current experience. So again, you guys are freshies right now. Most of the here, they are not professionals. This session is actually, which I've been told that this is for the graduates or the young graduates or the fresh. So there is a question actually. Where will you get the experience from? So I will tell you in a minute right now about that. So additional section, always mention some awards if you get any certificates, publications, if you do some publication work as well. Volunteer work I always recommend actually. Not always actually, I strongly recommend always get involved with the the NGOs and the social work organization. Do as much volunteer work as you want. The employer really want it actually. The employer really like it. That candidate which don't even go just for the money, who is willing to give their free time without any pay. And this is really helpful for your application if you put some volunteer work in your CV or resume. Languages known. This is also a very plus point. Extracurricular activities, conferences, if you attend any courses, if you get any, and hobbies. Yeah, this is very tricky. I don't know how many people are from the outside of the country, but in Pakistan there is a CSS exam. And if you, when you are sitting in front of the panel and you are giving when they're asking you questions, specifically they will ask you about the hobbies. Maybe if you apply to any company or to somewhere else, for the private jobs, maybe they won't even give a look to the hobbies section. But in the CSS exams, they specifically ask you about the hobbies. Okay, you mentioned cricket and football in your hobby. Is this okay if we ask you some questions about the cricket and football? And they will ask you such tricky questions that, okay, what is the centimeter of the cricket bat? Okay, can you tell us, if they ask you anything about the cricket, can you tell us who was Imran Khan? And when can you tell us? Can you name 4 bowlers who didn't even throw the no ball in their whole career? And they will ask you such tricky question. And if you didn't answer properly, and then they will ask you the probing question, or maybe they will hit you with a question, and that will be, why you mentioned the cricket? Because cricket is not your hobby, because you know nothing about cricket. So you have to be really careful. And one thing which I forgot to mention here, books. Some people, they like that, okay, reading books is my hobby, and the next question will be, what is the current book are you reading, or maybe the recent book you read? So would you like to tell us something, a brief description about that book? So if you have read any book, so they will ask you the same question. They will ask you the same question about that book, that what is the lesson? So most of the people, they just try to bulk those books in the shelves, and they know nothing about the lesson, and they know nothing about the meanings, and they know nothing about the book structure actually. And all they have to do is just store the book in their shelf. That's it. So you have to be really, really careful about that. So these are really small things which the examiner, which or maybe the employer or maybe the interviewer can ask you, and they can trick you with that questions. There is a slide next at the end which mention a lot of tricky question. Inshallah, I will share those with you. So the last part is try to mention only 2 sections which is relevant to the job. I mentioned a lot of things in the additional section, that awards, certificates, publication, volunteer work, languages. So you don't need to mention all those things. All you have to do is just pick 2 strong points from here and just put it over there, which is relevant to the job actually. There is a mistake which lots of students make, and that is they make one resume and they just send it to every job in the market. No, you don't need to do that actually. You have to make each and every job specific for yourself, and you have to make your own CV according to that job, and you have to make your own cover letter for that job actually. You don't need to just copy and paste it. You have to give it some time, and that way I think your CV will stand out. Right. So this is for the freshie resume actually. 3 changes. You have to, everything is the same. Only 3 things are different actually. Mention your education before experience. Obviously, as I've been told that this is the graduate session, and every graduate and every freshie, they don't have any experience, and that is their thing actually. When I was a student, I was thinking about the same thing, that even in London, when I was applying for the jobs, and one of the employer, they said that you don't have any experience, and I yelled at him actually, and I asked him, if you don't give me the job, and how can I get an experience? Just give me the job and I will get an experience. Trust me. And maybe it happens to you people as well. But this is the scenario. This is the case with every fresh graduate. So you have mentioned. Your education is quite good. You do it before experience. You have to do it in the chronological order. Experience. So in experience, try to mention. We think that we don't have any experience, but there is a lot of things which I mentioned here. Number 2 point. If you look at the number 2 points, and experience says that many projects. Maybe you did something in the university or maybe college. Internship. Obviously, you did some internship. That's why you got the degree. Paperwork done with the faculty. Anything you did inside the faculty, inside the institution, inside the organization, inside your college or university. Anything you mention it as an experience, or maybe if you did some tuition for the kids, that is a very good thing. Also mention it, and how you handle those kids actually. Kids are really hard to handle, and you have to mention it. You have to give a brief description about the tuition for the kids as well, and part-time job. Everybody knows about it. In Pakistan, there is not a proper trend, but abroad there is lots of students. They are studying in the morning time, and a part-time they are working in the KFC or maybe in the McDonald's. Pakistan is quite different in that sense. Okay, leading to the number 3. Yeah, additional section, maintaining college university event. In an addition section, you have to, like I said, that you have to mention something, anything. If you organize an event, if you plan an event, if you do some strategic planning for an event, you have to mention those things actually. You don't need to leave that additional section blank. Taking part in the speech competition, I strongly recommend that always work on your communication skills, and communication skills in the university or in the college time. Taking part in the competition, that is the best way to practice your communication skills. Work on your college website if you are an IT student, or maybe you are a group leader. So always try to mention those experiences in your profile. Right, before sending or maybe exporting, try to keep your resume to 1 page. You are freshie. You are again, if you are a fresh graduate, to try to keep it to the 1 page. If that is a resume, and most of the professionals, they have a lot of experience, and they have a lot of work done, a lot of blogs and a lot of contributions. So it can't be possible to keep it to the 1 page. So that lead to the something like 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. But if you are fresh, and you don't have any much experience. So the ideal way is to keep it to the one page. That's why it's called resume. The difference between the resume and the CV is this actually. Resume is for the fresh graduates and CV is for the professionals. Number two, proofread and proofread. Again, no employer want to see grammatical mistake. No interviewer want to see the grammatical mistake. Trust me, I did the same mistake. When I was sending my profile to the companies, to the different companies, it's not a long time ago. This happened with me recently, and I was in a rush, and I asked one of my friends that this is my profile, and kindly just type the email and just send it to the ABC University. I don't want to mention that university name as well. So okay, and I said it was a training proposal, and I gave him my profile, and I asked him that he mentioned all these things, these bullet points in the email, and just send it and let me know when you do it. He did it, and he mentioned my email in that profile and in that email as well. If you want to contact, please contact on this email. The email I got from the university, which is a really good thing, but the bad news is the university, the faculty, or maybe the hiring manager, or maybe I don't know whoever contact me. They said that you are here to deliver us the training, and trainers are really professionals, but we found some grammatical mistake in your email. So what are you going to do about it? And trust me, I was speechless. I don't have any answer to that. So just to avoid those embarrassment, number two point is proofread and proofread and proofread again. Three, again, never ever lie in your resume. Never. Right. I don't want to to put a lot of force on number 3 point, because this is the third time I mention it. So